Okay, let's try this again. I wonder if it can do two things at once, my phone. And if not, we will try it a different way. Last time I hit the button when I was talking, it automatically stopped it. Yep. It automatically stopped it, and I couldn't do anything. And what I was doing, I was talking my series through, at least from the verses 1 to 4, and it didn't quite take. But this time we're going to get it right. So I'm out here walking the dogs, and I've just read verses 1 through 4 in Genesis, where it starts talking about God creating heaven and earth. And there's these naysayers that say, well, how could have God done it? And, well, if that's the case with the genealogy and looking at the Bible, they're quick to jump to different chapters, trying to dispel anything. But this is what I believe. This is how I believe it. And I can get into all of that later on and try to, at ease, a lot of the naysaying of what the Bible has and has to preach or has to say about itself. All right. So, like, for example, how old the earth is versus how long the Bible really covers. Now, it covers right now the creation of heaven, which is all of the stars, all of the substances within the universe. God basically said in the beginning, God created that already. Now, with him creating these things, it was out without form, and it was void of people, void of things, void of plant life, void of a lot. So as we go beyond chapter 4, that's when it starts populating. But before it really populates, it populates something else, and we'll get into that. So the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the earth, meaning that he was here before. He moved upon the waters. He checked everything out, got the earth to spin the correct way. He is the one who's basically helping to give us the tilt, made the light, at least the sun, and started getting seasonal change for us. He helped do all of that. Not helped. He basically is the one it says that done all of that. Don't get me wrong. In the form of management, I understand God is the king, the chief, the everything, okay? And in management, we know things that we say other people might also help contribute and do. Now, the thing I'm trying to point out also is that when you think of light, the sun, or light, illuminescence, or light, things that you can see finally, and darkness, which is the absent or void of light, or shadows or stuff like that, what you also should realize, yes, those are the terms, but also it could also mean some other terms, which is like good and evil. All right. So at that time, he most likely, before even man and animals and plants, he created the angels and the demons. Okay. God is the creator of all things. So he created light and darkness. He said they were both good because God doesn't really make anything bad. Anything he makes is good, genuinely. Okay. So the things that he would typically be called good is the things that fall in the order of God. Things that is evil is the things that typically go against God. All right. Me and my ideas. Why is he creating all this stuff if he's God? Why is he doing all of this? If we are in the image of God, I think if we are in the image of God, I think that God, would want to be social. He would want to have like a little pet fish watching it swim. We are the fish. We are the pets. We are the servants. We are the things that make him happy. So that's how I look at it. And it's not bad to be a pet. I think that the pets that I have had a great life or have a great life. So it's not a bad thing. It's more of a symbiotic relationship. Now, going back to the Bible, it's basically, it says that God divided the good and the bad, or at least in interpretation from me, is that he divided the good and the evil. And I believe that they basically had that, the angels and the demons already done had their war before he really even created mankind. And that's why, most likely, at the start of a day, or Adam and Eve had an issue with Satan because he was already up to his things. He was already on his belly, or he was, well, at least they called him the serpent. I'm not sure exactly what his figure form really was, but moving back to this is that light and darkness is there. This is God's creation. God creates all things. And there is things that he created before he started really, truly working on the earth. But anyways, I'm out here just to walking the dogs like I was trying to do. Here's my ugly mug, unshaven, because today is New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed today's daily dose of devotion. All right. So what you got to do is figure out, my thing for you, the challenge for you is to figure out what is the good and what is the bad and divide that up. Okay. Not to say that, not to say good and bad is all bad, or, or good is all good. Okay. But you have to find the bad and you have to find the good inside the bad. If God creates evil, then there is a purpose behind all of that. Right? So it's kind of pointless to have an action movie without a bad guy in it. That's how I look at that part. If everything is good, you might drive somebody great batty. But regardless, I'm hoping heaven is all good and we have some different activities, like a good New Year's party without a family feud. So what you do in your life is you figure out what's good and bad. Let's say, for example, eating. For example, your workout routine. Let's say, example, for your mental state. Okay? If you're saying, oh man, I'm doing this good, tweak it and make it better. The other part, for the bad things, if you think that there's something bad for right now, sit it on the shelf, put it off to the side, okay? And figure out what can you do with that piece of work, okay? Of course, pray on it. But prayer without works, you have to work at it too. So put it on the shelf and figure out how you're going to get this thing done. Well, my phone is going crazy with notifications and Happy New Year's messages. I'm going to let y'all go. I hope y'all had a wonderful time last night. And what I would say is Happy New Year's and stay blessed.